Hola, hola. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to be back. I know it's been off and on with this podcast, but I want to assure you that that's the way life is. And to be honest, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on, but it's just life. Life gets in the way. And I want to compare it a little bit to our finances. Sometimes unexpected things come up. And then when you prioritize, you have to say no to some things and say yes to others that are more important. And that's kind of how this podcast has been. Although I'm really going to try to be consistent, I have noticed that when I had younger children, it was a lot harder and it was definitely more challenging to say yes to some of the business things and some of the things that I was doing for Debt-Free Latina because my kids came first. But now that I have one of my oldest is now grown and gone. He lives on his own. And then my youngest is now in college. I feel like now I can focus on some of the things I've been wanting to do. And now I can do since I am, sort of an empty nester, but not quite yet because my youngest does live at home while going to college. Anywho, what are the things that you are looking forward to in 2026? Because we all start the year with like great ideas and things and, resolutions and things we'd want to accomplish and maybe setting some goals. And all of those things are important. And sometimes these are the like inspiration that we need in order to change or to bring change, positive change to our life. And so I want to talk about a few things that I think are really important that we set in order to be really successful in 2026. So one of the things that I thought of was, I almost always have a new calendar. So if you don't have a calendar, I would suggest you go to Michael's or you go to, this is not sponsored, or go someplace that has like really nice planners that you can write in. I personally like to have like really nice colorful pens, and I will write down what's going on because it's really hard to set a goal and not have a concrete idea of how you're going to accomplish it. So a calendar really helps you plan and really helps you project when things are going to happen. One of the things that I use my planner for is as I'm doing my budget every single week, I will look at my planner and see what's going on. Do I have a birthday, or do I have a trip coming up, or do I have family coming over that may require my budget to match up to what's going on in my life? So that's how I personally use it. And honestly, a planner is super helpful. I actually have my planner here. I like these like Create 365 planners that I get at Michael's. I've gotten these many times throughout the years. And it's really helpful to me. I love having a planner. I also have my Google Calendar, which is where I do a lot of my business stuff. And, I have my client calls booked on there. And so I live by both. But this one is more of a what's going on in my personal life? What do I need to keep an eye on? And then more of like the daily to-dos versus my Google Calendar has more of like my business stuff and anything going on in the business. I may put some personal stuff in there, but it's rare. That is one of the things that has really helped me get organized. And, I was thinking about, I have completed 15 plus years of budgeting. I have not missed a month. And honestly, when I think about like what helped me keep that goal, that habit, I think I personally really enjoy budgeting. And I understand that's very hard for some. But I think one of the things is that I always have it tied to a goal. And I think that that's one thing that I really wanted to like ensure I say here on the podcast is you have to have a goal. At first, yes, it was getting out of debt and getting organized. But like, what do you want? I want you to start and think about, dream a little. Like, what would you like to accomplish? Do you want to buy a house? Do you want to go on vacation? Do you want to go back to school? Do you want to be a stay-at-home mom? Like, all of these things can happen. It might take some planning. It might take some time. But whatever it is that you want to accomplish, you can get it done. It may require you to get a second job or to increase your income in some way. It might require you to reduce some of your expenses so that you can, save the difference. Maybe you do both, and that's when you really see it move and really accelerate the process. And so I just want to encourage you, if this is a year that you're like, okay, that's it, I've got to do this, then get yourself a planner, get yourself a budget sheet, whether it's a template with someone or whether it's, just pen and paper. Honestly, you don't need anything complicated. If you don't like the apps, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. You don't need to get creative. You don't need a spreadsheet. You can just grab a notebook and a pen and start writing down all of your bills. And honestly, giving your money an assignment every single paycheck. And honestly, as you start projecting and start organizing yourself, you'll start seeing the patterns that happen, right? The things that you have to change or the things you need to modify. So yeah, I just want to encourage you. This is just we're getting back in the roll of things and it's just starting to take steps to get organized. You don't have to do it all at first. And I feel like at the beginning of the year, it's like it all has to be perfect. It does not. It does not have to be perfect. You can, get the one thing, get the planner this week. And then next week, we'll talk about something else. And just stay tuned because I'm going to be talking about little things that will help you stay motivated in this process. Getting out of debt is hard. And sometimes it is a marathon, but you can do it. You can do hard things. And so I want to encourage you, if you are ready to get your finances in order, feel free to reach out. I'm at debt-free-latina.com. Book a call with me. It's absolutely free. And I would love to talk to you. Let's talk about what are the things that you can do? What are some of the things that you can accomplish and how long it's going to take to accomplish those things? It really is sometimes when you have it all visually and like it's all planned out, which is what I love to do. Projecting is actually really easy once you know your numbers. And sometimes that's the hardest part, that you don't know your numbers. You don't know how much you owe. You don't know how much you bring home after taxes. It just kind of all goes in and goes right back out in, bills. But when you start to pay attention, it's interesting how you feel that you're earning more. I know it's such a weird concept, but it happens all the time. So it's time to pay attention, plan your time, go get yourself a planner. If you like cute pens, go ahead and get yourself a couple of cute pens. And we'll talk next week. I'm so excited to be back. And thank you so much for spending time with me. I'll see you next week.